Okay, good afternoon, friends. So we begin with our development, where we left last time. So I think this was the place I was discussing with you stress strain relation for linear elastic material. So we all know, I mean, this thing I have already told you, but then in a general three-dimensional state of stress, when you have all the stress components and all the strain components, all the 6 stress and 6 strain components are present, then the point stress strain point wise relationship can be written like this through superposition. So, this you should know how to write it through superposition. So, I have applied so far I had applied only the normal stresses. So, because of the normal stresses sigma x, first we applied sigma x. So, we got all these strains. When we applied sigma y, then we got these strains. When we applied sigma z, then we got these strains. Is it okay? And then they have been, but in addition to that we will also have to, because you also have this. I mean, there are 6 faces in a cube, you have these stresses. These are called shear stresses. So, when you apply tau x y, let us say in x y plane. So, if the material is isotropic, that will produce only the corresponding shear strain. So, it will be tau x y by g. Gamma x y will be tau x y by g. All other strains will be 0 because of that. So, here this will be 0, this will be 0, this. A shear stress produces only the corresponding shear strain if the material is isotropic. If it is isotropic, if it is not, then it is a different matter. But if the material is isotropic, then a shear stress produces only the corresponding shear strain, and obviously it will be tau x y. Similarly, next shear stress tau x z will produce only the corresponding shear strain, rest all will be 0. So, we are simply superposing all the states of strain. Similarly, the last stress, that is tau y z will produce only the corresponding gamma y z, and rest of strains it will not produce any normal strain, it will not produce any other shear strain. So, this completes the for an isotropic material. So, this way you should try to understand this relationship this way, that it can be done, it can be derived through superposition process. Do not try to just remember. You apply on a cube. So, if this is your cube around a point, if this is your a small cube with 6 faces you have created. So, what you do? Again, I am just wondering why I am telling all this, because some of you must be knowing this. So, if this is a cube and if you apply a sigma x front, and of course, it will also be in the back. So, like this sigma x. So, what will happen? X direction will get stretched, y will get compressed, z also will get compressed. So, that is what is reflected there. This is what is reflected. This is extended, this one is with a minus sign, this one with a minus sign, and the shape of the cube remains. It is not a cube, then it will become a parallelepiped. Sides will change. If you start with a unit cube, then its sides, length of the sides will change. So, but 90 degree will be maintained, all these 90 degrees they will be maintained. So, since 90 degree will be maintained, there is no shear strain. So, that is the basic thing that. So, that is how we have superposed, and similarly you apply then superpose on this sigma y, then superpose on this sigma z. So, this is the story of normal stresses on a cube. So, that is explained here, first column, second column, third column, and when it comes to now, you see, because on a cube showing the distortion, I do not think I am a very good, I can draw very good pictures, but let me try. So, let me try means this is a original cube and I am applying now, this is, let us say x, this is y and this is z. So, let us apply which one? Anyways, the simpler that we can simpler yz is like this, tau yz is like this on a y plane, this is tau yz and tau zy will be on this tau zy, and this is on the positive faces. On the negative faces, you will have like this on these two. So, this will be tau zy and this will be tau yz. Y means the plane is y, positive, this plane is y, this plane is z, in direction y, this is z in direction y. So, this is the shear. Now, if you apply this, what will happen? Now, if I will take a cross section here. Let me take a cross section here, cut a plane. So, originally this was like this, this is yz, this is in y and this is in z direction. But after you have applied these shear stresses, so please remember these diagrams, because these are the shear stresses, yz, yes or no? Yes. So, what will happen? This point will go here, because this is tension, this will be compressed inside. So, your shape of this square will become something like this. So, this change in right angle, this angle here and this angle here, sum of these two angles is gamma y z. So, if this is alpha and this is beta, change in right angle, that is change in alpha plus beta is the change in right angle. It is reduction in right angle, that is how we define reduction in 90 degree, that is gamma y z. Here the shape is changing, here shape has changed. So, this must be kept in mind, and this is, there is no normal stress that is there is no normal strain that is produced because of this. It produces only this shear strain. In fact, all other, this there is no, this 90 degree will be maintained here, between this plane and this plane, this 90 degree will be maintained. Okay. Between this plane and this plane, this 90 degree also here will be maintained. So, it is only changing this. So, no other shear strain, only corresponding. So, this diagrams kindly please keep it in your mind. So, and that is how we, but this is not the subject matter, but anyway it is okay, some of you will get benefited. So, then we go to, so okay, we can write down this relationship now. So, we can write down this relationship epsilon x epsilon y, epsilon z, gamma xy, gamma xz and gamma yz on the left hand side in matrix notation. Yes, so this can be a 6, this will be a 6 by 6 matrix and this will be a again a 6 by 6 vector of stresses sigma x, sigma y, sigma z, tau xy, tau xz, tau yz, and in between can be filled up by this. So, in between will be, for example, the first row it is just 1 by E here minus nu by E, minus nu by E, 0 0 0. Second one minus nu by E, 1 by E, minus nu by E, 0 0 0. Third one minus nu by E, minus nu by E, 1 by E, 0 yes 0 0 0. Rest one, this one is tau, fourth one. So, there will be 3 zeros, 1 2 3 zeros, and then this is 1 by G here 0 0 0. Then this one will be 4 zeros 1 by G. Then this will be 5 zeros 1 by. So, this defines. So, this is your in matrix notation the strains are related to stresses by this. If you denote this by a vector strain, general vector of 6 by 1, and this matrix is compliance matrix. This is something like flexibility matrix, flexibility for a unit stress. I will make all this 0 from y onwards and I will give sigma x unity. What I will get? I will get epsilon x, epsilon y also, but they were all multiplied by this. Only this one epsilon x will be 1 by is sigma x is unity. So, it is the strain produced by unit stress is this, then strain in y direction it will be minus nu by E, strain in z direction minus nu by E, all other strains are 0. So, like this. So, this is like flexibility matrix due to unit force what is the displacement is flexibility. So, here due to unit stress what is the strain is same flexibility matrix of the material, and we denote this by a letter, a symbol S. This is called flexibility matrix of the material and S. So, S is flexibility or compliance, flexibility or compliance, compliant, it has come from compliant. Pliable. You see there is a word pliable, pliable, so and so is pliable. If there are some top officers and minister, whatever he does, if he is a pliable officer, means he will just simply say yes to the minister. Okay. So, most of the people like pliable people, you see, under them, so that they do not have any. So, this is, but this is compliant, compliant. So, this is matrix of the material, it is a material matrix. But this form I think is not suitable for finite element analysis or for most even other places. Strain expressed in terms of stress is not a, what is most convenient is this form, that is sigma equal to S inverse strain, this You find out the inverse of S matrix. And so, from compliant or flexibility, this S inverse becomes stiffness. Flexibility, inverse of flexibility is stiffness. So, this becomes stiffness and we denote it by what? K. K is our structural material. Material we don't denote it by K for material. D also no. C, yes, most books denote it by C. C. So, C is stiffness matrix material. So, this can be found out. I think you can get all these coefficients, and I think they are all tabulated for different states of stress. They are all available in the textbooks. They you do not have to do much effort. They are all available. So, C matrix is known, but I will call this, I do not like C because E elasticity matrix. So, I will call it C by E. Of course, E is Young's modulus, but then this is a matrix bold face. When it is a bold face, then it is a elasticity matrix E. So, this so this is my own notation. So, it is not E. Okay, so, we have got this, we will establish this. I think let us hope that for a 3-dimensional body we can write down, we can find out the inverse, these are all available. And so, now we have got yes, we studied displacement, then we studied strains, we have found out B matrix, we have found out B matrix, we have found out N matrix, and now we have established E matrix, material elasticity matrix. So, it is, I also call this elasticity matrix, material elasticity matrix. Then, so when the body is in a state of equilibrium and you have forces acting on it, deformation has already taken place, and therefore, some strain energy is already stored in the body. Strain energy is already stored in the body. Inside, inside the body, any 3-dimensional body. So, you have body is in equilibrium, means reaction can be put by forces, it is in a state of equilibrium. So, this body is already deformed, deformation has already taken place. So, strain energy is a positive definite quantity of energy that is stored in the body. If you remove the loads, well, this can be recovered, this will come back to its original position. So, now after you have displaced the body, or it is already strain energy is there, and you move the forces, give a virtual displacement to the body consistent with the constraints. So, give virtual displacement. This concept of virtual displacement is very complicated, not many people understand. So, for example, if there is a beam, these are the 2 points on which it is supported. So, under the action of load, this is already deflected. So, beam has got strain energy stored in it. Then I am saying give a virtual very consistent with the constraint. What is the meaning of consistent? Means do not disturb the boundary condition. You give displacement in such a way that boundary conditions are intact. do not lift the body from the support. So, this has to be 0 here and here, but something. Then keep these forces constant, no change in this. So, these forces, external force, because it is external force that has displaced the body. So, that external force has moved by a small displacement. So, external force F, let us say number of forces are there, into very small change u I, they will do some work at all these points, I, j, etc. There are number of forces. So, I just multiply a small change in displacement multiplied by the forces. There is no change in the force remains the same during that small displacement. So, that is the work done, we call it virtual work done, virtual work done by external forces. It is virtual work done, it is not a real work done, because we have moved it in a very anyway, this is a, and in the process the body has also further deformed. No? Okay, so, what must have happened, that strain energy must have changed by some amount. So, strain energy which was there already stored in the body, that must have changed by some change in strain energy. Original strain energy, after the displacements are virtual displacements are put, then this will become u plus delta u. So, and call this virtual work done by external forces as delta w. So, principle of virtual displacement states, it is very simple. So, those of you, I think I have been very clear, and if you are attentive, then you will remember this. So, principle of virtual displacement states that under this condition, this is equal to this. This is the principle of virtual displacement, that the small change in work done is equal to change in the strain energy, a small change in the strain energy, they must be. So, this is called principle of virtual displacement. And this is possible only when original body was in a state of equilibrium. If the body was not in a state of equilibrium, this is not possible. Okay. So, only when body is in a state of equilibrium, this equality exists. So, that means this is one way of satisfying condition of equilibrium. So, principle of virtual work is a indirect way of writing down the conditions of equilibrium, which you would normally write in term by showing all the forces, drawing the free body diagram, summing forces in x, y, z direction, taking moment about x axis, y axis and z axis, writing down the 6 equations. No, that can be avoided and by writing this. So, this is a indirect way. So, this is one principle, I will say. So, we use this for any complicated structural system, and for finite element where it is known that the structural system is very complicated. It is very difficult to draw the free body diagram and consider the forces in a state of equilibrium. So, we always use indirect way. So, we use for all the structural system, we use either virtual principle or there is another principle, or I think this I have, there is a principle of minimum potential energy, second principle. principle of, I think this I had told, I think this with reference to one dimensional I have already told you. Principle of minimum potential energy. So, these two principles are they are similar, synonymous to each other, and but they are very important. That states that if the potential of a body can be written as strain energy minus work done by the forces. And by minimization of this, minimize pi means take variation. This means what? Take variation of pi, take a variation means variation of pi. You know that there is one subject matter called variational calculus. So, whole of variational calculus deals with only this variational calculus. And let me tell you, I do not understand most of the variational calculus books, I have tried, but I have not been able to understand, because they make it so complicated. But if some of you are interested, you please read some good books on variational principles, variational calculus. Okay. Somehow I am not a good student, so minimize pi, take a variation. So, take a variation means we set this pi equal to 0. So, this also signifies if the body is in a state of equilibrium, a variation of pi has to be equal to 0. A change in potential energy of the body must be equal to a small change, a small variation should be 0, because if it is in equilibrium means you change it little bit, that should not matter, it will still remain in equilibrium if it is properly supported. But if it is not properly supported, if this thing is it is hanging and apply a small force, it will go by this much. If you apply a large force, it will go like this. So, this is, I will not say that this is a properly supported. Yes, if it is a column, support it here, then give displacement, then you see. So, after this is. So, these are the two principles. This also incidentally, this will also, because this means delta u minus delta w equal to 0. So, this also gives you the same result of virtual displacement. This also in fact is, but only it is indirect way of saying, this also gives you the same thing, but then one can do it this way. So, we will use one of these two principles to derive our discrete equilibrium equations of the body. So, if you have a finite element 1, so strain energy of a elastic body under the action of general state of stress is given by strain energy of any elastic body. If you load the body from 0 state of stress, to some deform, so all the stresses and strains will come in the picture, and final stress has come, but that final stress is started with a 0 stress, is it not? Because this will always be like this. If this is like this, if this is stress and this is strain, so stress is increased and you stop it here. So, this area under the curve denotes some kind of energy. In fact, it is per unit volume. So, that is a different matter, but it is some kind of energy that I can tell you. So, this, and that is half times area of the triangle is half sigma into epsilon. So, if you have all the 6 stresses, everything present, you have sigma, you have strain, everything present in the body. then this can be written as half integral, because this one is per unit volume, this area is per unit volume, energy per unit volume. So, if you want to do this, so it per unit volume. So, I will just say here this is strain transpose into sigma into dV. Strain energy is given by this. This is volume triple integral. So, it will be half is already there outside. So, it will be for example, sigma x epsilon x, sigma y epsilon y, sigma z epsilon z, tau x y, gamma x y, tau x z into gamma x z plus tau y z into gamma y z. All the 6 components, because this is a vector times dV. So, this is the expression for strain energy. So, now let us see how we have what we have done. We have so far, see, this is the continuum strain energy. This is, see, this is strain energy exact continuum. There is, this I have written, there is no approximation, everything. If now I want to get, because we are doing finite element, the whole body is discretized into number of smaller bodies, sub bodies, sub areas, all interconnected. Okay. So, if there is a body, so it is discretized into number of by different sub bodies like this. So, we are taking the entire body as assemblage of smaller elements, and the points of interconnections are the nodes. These nodes, at the nodes they are all meeting, and this element is incidental, it can be any shape and size, whichever is convenient to you. For example, if you have a rectangular domain, I can divide this into like this. Yes, I can think of this as an assemblage of so many smaller 4 noded elements. Each one is an element, and when you assemble all these elements, you form the total. Assemble means join together. I think assembly process you already know. Same principle occurs, is applied here also. So, let us find out this strain energy expression for because if you can do it for one element, you can also do it for the entire by summation. Strain energy in one element, if you do, then sum over all the elements, that will be the total strain energy. Okay. So, that is, it is simple algebraic sum. So, U is sigma UE summation over element. Similarly, W total work done also will be work done over the entire, will also be work done by the forces. These are all scalar, both these quantities are scalar over summation. Energy also is a number, is some quantity, so many joules, so many, what is the dimension of joule? Energy, what is the unit of energy? Newton meter, yes, that is, that is a very routine, work done is force into distance, that is energy. Work done is force into distance, kilogram into meter or Newton into meter, but then anyway power, energy, but real, how do you measure energy? Anyway, this can be converted into our horsepower, then joules and things like that. So, those things you should know. So, this is so what we will do, we will let us say, so this thing holds good, this you should always remember, yes, total energy is always summation. So, we will try to find out what is for one element energy. Now, strain, how have you see? We have got a relationship that strain in the body is given by, we have discretized this. Strains have been discretized and written in terms of nodal values of displacement, and that is, it is B times D, is it not? This we have already derived. Strain is B times D, but then this is see, what is most important is this notation. Once you have discretized means it is approximate, not exact. So, strain is like this. Then we have also, because here it is a strain, we have also found out that there is a relationship between stress, here this is exact, there is no equal to E times, this also we have established earlier. I think so far we need only two, because energy is strain energy is strain and sigma. So, let us not worry about anything else. So, it will be therefore, my strain energy, discrete strain energy, if you are discretizing using finite element, you are expressing in terms of some approximate functions, in terms of nodal displacement. So, you are making some approximation. So, that one will be given by, now I will use approximately equal to half integral over volume strain transpose, that means B times D, it is very simple, this quantity transpose of two matrices B D, then stress dV. Normally, now this will be equal to half will remain, please note. D is the nodal displacement vector independent of x, y, z, is it not? Those can be taken outside the integral sign. So, B D transpose equal to D transpose B transpose, it reverses, A B transpose equal to B transpose A transpose. So, it will be D transpose, I am taking it outside the integral sign, then volume integral, then B transpose, I hope you are with me, then sigma. So, this is a very important expression for strain energy. In terms of strain matrix, sigma, and this is used as such for nonlinear problems. See, nonlinear problem, what happens, stress and strain is something like this, it is not linear. So, supposing you are at this location, you will have to take this. If you are at somewhere else, so it cannot be written as sigma equal to E times strain. So, I will have to take the correct those strains from the graph, it is because it is non-linear. So, this is used, this expression is used in non-linear analysis, non-linear material analysis. Now, when you, so this expression is a discrete strain energy expression, discrete. Why we are discrete? Because we have discretized it, D nodal displacements are coming. But if you have a linear material, for linear we have all established, yes, this is equal to E times. So, we can replace sigma by this quantity. So, therefore, for linear U can be written as, see this is very simple, there is hardly any complication, it follows from 1. So, it is a D transpose integral B transpose, then sigma is E times what? E times strain, and E times strain can be written as B times D. So, I can also write this B into D. Multiplied by, this has to be integrated over volume, and therefore, the expression for discrete strain energy for an elastic continua, elastic body is this integral over volume B transpose E B 3 matrices B transpose E B d V, and this D can be taken out because D is independent of coordinates, but you cannot put D and D put together, these are all matrices, order has to be maintained, you cannot write A B as B A, no, every order has to be maintained, it has to be written in the same manner. This whatever I have put in the is denoted or by a matrix which we call stiffness matrix. It is something like this, where K is integral over volume B transpose E B. We will take an example, but what I am saying, it is very straightforward, very simple. It is a quadratic form, energy is quadratic because D and D transpose will give you D square, x and x here, it will always be quadratic. So, energy, strain energy is quadratic in displacement, not linear, it is quadratic in displacement, nodal displacement. So, this is called the stiffness matrix of the elastic continua of an element, or we can also call this stiffness matrix of an total body, because we have seen here, summation we know that. So, K can represent element or total body. It is not necessary that it is only for element, it is for total body also. Because total body is very complicated, we discretize it into smaller elements and then we can compute this element wise and then do the assembly because of summation, by utilizing summation, simple summation. That process you have to practice, and you already know, we have shown it in the case of one dimensional problem. So, we have derived K matrix and then okay. So, then what about W? Because there are two things that consist of K and W. Pi consists of two quantities, two scalar quantities U and W. What about W? Now, W is After all, this is a body subjected to some load somewhere. Let us assume that load is per unit volume P per unit volume. Load is and if you have loads directly acting on the nodes, so there will be some P I and they will be directly doing work on U I displacement, corresponding displacement if it is. But if it is a distributed load P, we will see how to find out the work done. The work done will be what? How to find out work done? Yes. U. Yes, please, how to find out work done? Work done is given by, let us say we are talking of per unit volume. So, if P is there, P will do work on what? Displacements. Deformation. But the thing is, see, deformation is a general term. Wherever P is there, P, intensity of load, that will, it will find out, how much it has moved. So it will be, I will say, I will write it in a more sophisticated way. I will say it is U transpose multiplied by P dV. P dV is the total load multiplied by the displacement, and P can be also a vector UVW. P can be having three components. P can have, see, this P can have Px, Py, Pz at any point. At any point there can be intensity of load in the three direction, and then the corresponding displacements are also U is UVW. But then I have not written here half. For energy, I said the strain, when the body you apply a load, it deforms, and then I showed you that triangular diagram. I said area under the curve, yes, it is half. What about here? Yes, because the full force, full total force value is there on the body, and that undergoes a displacement U. So, this is, there is no question of half here. I have found out in one book, one British book, I think I do not remember, they have used half, so I think it is wrong. Some just check up the book by Smith, 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 Matrix Methods and Finite Element Method. I think they have made a mistake. They have taken half here. Number of copies are there in the library. That book came because that is a very simple book, Smith. So, this is the expression for strain, work done by distributed. This is a body force. This is a P is nothing but it's a function of volume, and plus you can have Pi Ui. Yes, Pi nodal, shall I say vector Ui, because if they are working on some node, so ith node, so it will be Pi Ui, that also will be directly, this is concentrated, P is a concentrated load, this one is distributed load per unit volume. So, like this is the work done. Okay. So, this is the work done, and U is equal to, now I will say discrete work done. Discrete work done will be u equal to n times d. Times p dV plus p I u I. I can put a sigma also, that also many people, because there can be summation over I here. Yeah. So, summation over I Is it clear? If there are number of loads, number of concentrated loads, it can be summed. So, this will be equal to, again it will be d transpose n transpose. So, it will be d transpose volume integral n transpose p dV plus sigma over I some p I u I or no, it should be d I nodal directly, yes, nodal value na p are p, these loads are acting directly over nodes. U is a continuous displacement. U. Yes, it can have component, but then even Pi will work. I mean, will let us say will work that, because if they are acting on the nodes, so directly the displacement that are there, nodal displacement, they will. So I will personally think that good this, it is better to put this as d and this as d, and d can be a vector. D can be a vector, this P also can be a vector. P I, ith node there can be 3 components of load. At any node you can have P x, P y, P z. So, okay. So, all right. So, this is the expression for work done, and therefore, so we have got 2 expressions, one for energy, energy is like this, discrete energy, this is the discrete energy, this is the expression for You have a good idea, yes, you are very right, very nice, yes. We can also write down this as d transpose P. If you include all D's and all P's, they can be written, all these P's are different from this small p. This is small p distributed load per unit volume. This is the force acting at the nodes, forces that are acting. So, all you combine them all. So, this can be written as d transpose P. All this can be written as d transpose P. So, now you have d transpose, this is, thank you very much. So, this is, so this can be n transpose P dV plus P plus P. D transpose I have taken common from here and here. So, I have got we have 1 hour time is coming to an end, but let me see whether he is going to extend or you have another class, you are always having another class. Okay. Okay. Yes, it was 4 to 5:30. Yes. Anyway, I am just writing the expression for pi is d transpose n transpose P dV plus P. So, n transpose, see this n, this one, if you integrate this also will give you a force term. Where is minus? Sorry, there is a minus, yes, 100%, yes, this minus. Yes. Okay. So, now if you take a variation of this expression, variation means take a pi. For my stable equilibrium, a change in pi must be set equal to 0, principle of minimum potential energy. So, this one will give me 0 equal to, now what is the variation of this? This d square, variation is nothing but derivative times, you have to take derivative with respect to d, okay, variation. So, this d square will become single d and d square will give you 2d derivative. So, 2 and 2 will get cancelled. So, you get here only k d, this is matrix derivation. After this will give you only k d, then here you will get d, there is only one d. So, it is fine, and this quantity let us call this n transpose p dV, this will give you some force intensity, let us call this as P 0, capital P I am saying, this is because there is already a capital P for nodal forces, direct nodal. So, this P 0 is a transformed, actually this continuous forces, continuous P now has been transformed and put on nodal values. So, these are transformed as nodal values and therefore, you get here P naught plus P and call this as F, this summation, and therefore, you get one, my discrete equation the famous equation, stiffness into displacement is equal to the force, external force acting on the body. This is the equation of equilibrium, equation of equilibrium. We will take a break here, we are taking a break here and then